I was doing research because that's what I do, man. I love doing Black history, and particularly in this part of North Carolina because it's so rich. I've got like 10 state historical markers that I've done in Eastern North Carolina since like 2018. So I've been doing this for a while, and I came upon your grandfather's name doing research about somebody else, and I saw he was the lawyer. So I'm like, let me just put him over here, put his name over here, and come back to him. I look him up, and I'm like, Ahoskie. Then I started reading about the work he was doing. I'm like, hold on, bro, wait a minute. Then I read about, being one of the first Black graduates of Carolina. And it's like the deeper I got into his background, man, I was like, this guy would be perfect for a historical marker,
So MC for this afternoon, I am also the state representative for North Carolina House District 27, which is Halifax, Northampton, and Warren counties. And also, I am the applicant for the James Walker Jr. marker. I think it's appropriate that the gentleman who we are honoring this afternoon was not just a pioneering civil rights attorney, was not just a father, a grandfather, a great-grandfather, not just an activist or an advocate, but he was also a preacher of the gospel of Jesus Christ. So the fact that we're having this in the church, I think is just highly appropriate. From Ahoskie to the North Carolina Supreme Court to the United States Supreme Court, James Robert Walker Jr. used the law to challenge discrimination and expand the promise of democracy. His legacy is North Carolina history.
First, I want to thank Representative Rodney Pierce, our mayor and our good brother, for extending us this opportunity to host you here today. And it is indeed an honor and a privilege to host his family, his two daughters and his grandson, great-grandchildren. And so we're grateful and thankful for what he has done for us. And as you said, Representative Pierce, he is North Carolina history.
It is my honor to have this opportunity to pay tribute to the life and legacy of Attorney James Robert Walker Jr. Now, when we tell the history of the civil rights movement, the voting rights movement, when we tell that history, most often we tell that history through the efforts of the nationally famous Black lawyers, like Thurgood Marshall, Spotswood Robinson, Constance Baker Motley, Charles Hamilton Houston, the Dean of Howard's Law School, Patty Murray, she was from Durham, Jack Greenberg, all those Howard lawyers. But truth be told, the history of the civil rights movement and the history of the voting rights movement was equally shaped by local Black lawyers like Attorney Walker, who were working in county courthouses all across the South.
My name is Angela Bryant, and I was formerly a legislator in the House and the Senate, representing at different times. I am here, though, to represent a very good friend and colleague of mine, Anita Earls, who is your Supreme Court, North Carolina Supreme Court Justice. Representing her, standing here as a Black lawyer, standing here as a UNC Chapel Hill Law School alum, where he was one of the first Blacks to graduate in history, and I would not have even had a chance to attend had he not done that, in the 1950s, I think it was, when he did it. So let's keep James Walker Jr. in mind, and his work in mind, and his legacy in mind, as we each do our best and hardest work right where we are.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I am Patricia Humans, or Reverend Pat. Some people call me. I'm the eldest daughter of Attorney James R. Walker Jr. Our father could have been renowned. Could have been another Thurgood Marshall, Kellis Parker, John Cochran, or Brian Stevenson. But instead, he became a grassroots civil rights attorney, namely waging battles in the realm of, many of you have already spoken, voting rights across the 6-county area that I'm remembering, of Halifax, Northampton, Warren, Bertie, Hertford, and Gates. There may be others, but I recall those. I remember I called him a visiting dad. He was too busy to get married, but he was not too busy to have my sister and I. So I remember him coming to pick me up and carry me to the Raleigh State Legislature, where he would be researching his cases because he believed so in the rights of others, especially those who were indigent, that he would take on cases, but he had to do his own research. So he would take me with him. I don't know what for. Many of the books were bigger than I was. But he would take me with him while he was researching information to help him win cases. And he was so eager to fight the rights of the disenfranchised and the downtrodden. I didn't understand, nor did I appreciate what was going on at the time. I just appreciated spending quality time with my father. And Reverend Attorney James R. Walker fought for our civil rights and equal rights to vote. Because he did, we can. So remember, you all, please vote. Thank you for the opportunity, for allowing us this time in the capsule of opportunity in history. Thank you for acknowledging and keeping alive the legacy of Reverend Attorney James R. Walker Jr. And as I said before, I wonder if he knows in his spirit realm that one of his daughters is not a lawyer, but a reverend too. May God continue to bless and keep you.
She would have made a good lawyer, don't you think? I too thank you all for allowing us this opportunity to honor my dad. I'm the youngest, I'm the baby, and it's amazing the similarities in our speeches. So we did not compare, and you will see what I mean. It is a tremendous honor to stand here today as we dedicate this highway historical marker to Reverend Attorney James R. Walker Jr. Markers like this do more than identify a place, they tell a story. They remind us of the people whose courage, sacrifice, and determination helped shape our communities and our state. Today, we ensure that his story will continue to be told. As a child, I wasn't particularly impressed that he was a lawyer. When he took me school shopping, he bought a few good things rather than many things. Looking back, he was teaching me that quality matters more than quantity. The confidence I saw in family debates and the determination I witnessed throughout his life helped make him a civil rights pioneer. Those same skills led to his selection as the first person of color to be honored with a portrait in the archives of the Dialectic and Philanthropic Societies at UNC Chapel Hill. Although the portrait has not yet been installed, this recognition reflects the lasting impact of his contributions and leadership. The man whose old car embarrassed me as a child, who never sought wealth, and who devoted himself to serving people who could not afford representation, was quietly making history. Future generations will know that what I have come to understand, that his life was not measured by the wealth he accumulated, but by the lives he changed. And for that, I'm proud to call him my father. And if you will indulge me for just one more moment, Chat AI helped me to put together this portrait of my father when he graduated UNC Chapel Hill. And I brought one for my sister and my son because I knew they'd be here. So you got one too. And also, this is a later rendition of my dad.
On behalf of the town of Ahoskie, our town council, and the people of this community, it is my honor to welcome you to this long-awaited and truly historic occasion as we dedicate this North Carolina historical marker to Robert James Walker Jr. I want to thank Representative and good brother Rodney Pierce for his work to make this recognition possible, the North Carolina Department of Natural and Cultural Resources, the new Ahoskie Missionary Baptist Church under the leadership of the good brother Pastor Doria Daniels as well, and everyone who helped to make this day possible. And today, I believe it is important that we begin with something that is very simple. James Walker Jr. was one of ours. He was born here, grew up here in Ahoskie, the oldest of 8 children, raised in a family that valued education, and from this small town of Hertford County, North Carolina, he went on to change our entire state. With his education, his law degree, and the opportunities that have taken him elsewhere, he returned to northeastern North Carolina and views where he learned to fight for the people and communities that raised him. Think about what that means and why that matters. Doing this work when the idea of Black citizens having an equal voice in government was still being actively resisted. There is a line connecting the courage of people like James Walker to the opportunities that generations after him have inherited. People like Mr. Walker fought to open doors without knowing the names of the people that will one day walk through them. I'm one of those people. This marker tells every child growing up here in Ahoskie that you do not have to come from a big city to make history. It tells them that someone that once walked the same streets that they walked on went on to challenge injustice, argue for equality, stand up for voting rights, and left his mark on North Carolina. And perhaps most importantly, after accomplishing something so extraordinary, he remembered where he came from. He came home and he served. That's a legacy worth remembering. So today, Ahoskie proudly says, welcome home, Mr. Walker. Your hometown remembers you, and thank you all for being here, and welcome to this historic celebration.
I am Takia Lewis Blaylock, as most of you all know, and I am truly honored to be here for such a momentous occasion as we're here for today. The past couple of weekends, I've been involved in one way or another programs honoring and celebrating Black excellence and the Black strength and Black resilience of folks right here in our area, northeastern North Carolina. Today, it's Attorney James Walker Jr. Last weekend, it was Sarah Keys Evans. And these were both people who contributed to the civil rights movement in different ways, but they were both instrumental and played a part in the civil rights movement. They don't know everything. They don't know half of the history that has taken place in this area. And I think that, we can rectify that for future generations. Because someone who became a lawyer when Black folks weren't supposed to be anything, that's amazing. It makes me proud that, I'm from Ahoskie. It makes me believe that I can show up and I can do more. And it makes me want to work harder and show up and do more. And it makes me want to make sure that my children know this history, that they can know that even though they're from Ahoskie, they can do big things too. They just need their heart and their determination. And so I want to thank you, Representative Pierce, for taking your time, for doing things like this, for bringing these stories that we have not heard, that we need to hear, to the forefront, and helping us remember that it is not where we're from, it's what we do that makes a difference. So thank you, and thank you all for having me.
But the marker itself is located at the intersection of Academy Street and Memorial Drive near the campus of ECU Health Ronald Chuan Hospital. Thank you all who have come today, not just to take part in the ceremony, but also to just be in attendance and support of this effort and of this program.
So I consider doing these markers teaching outside of the classroom. Because if you ride by a marker and it catches your eye, you can look up who's on it. That's my hope, man. The kids and people who come from rural areas like Ahoskie, like Halifax County, like Northampton, that they see, hey, there were people here who had less to work with than we had to work with now. We got technology. We got basically many computers. You know what I mean? They didn't have all that. You know what I mean? They had to communicate by phone, by letter. And, it's like we have no excuse. We can be just as organized, if not better organized than they were. We can get the word out more than they can. So, I'm just grateful for y'all for being here, man, and for what he did. Because I know I'm not where I am, serving in the House of our representatives in Raleigh without people like your grandfather.